We shall continue with our second chapter of Physics class 11, Units and Measurement. In the last class, we have studied significant figures. Today we shall study dimensions of physical quantities. The nature of a physical quantity is described by its dimensions. We know that the unit of velocity is centimeter per second. The other unit can be meter per second. The other unit of velocity can be kilometer per hour. So all these are units of velocity. Now in this you can see centimeter, meter, kilometer. All these are unit of length. Second, second hour. All these are unit of time. So you can say V can be written as L by T. Now this I can say as L power 1, and T, if I take in the numerator, it becomes T power minus 1. So these powers are called your dimensions of physical quantity, and these L and T are the base quantities. So these should be base quantities, and the powers are called your dimension of physical quantity. Let us define the dimensions of physical quantity. Dimension of a physical quantity are the powers or exponents to which the base quantities are raised to represent that quantity. 7 fundamental or base quantities are called 7 dimensions of physical world, denoted with square bracket. So the 7 fundamental and base quantities we have done in SI unit of system. Okay, they are called your dimensions of physical world, and we are writing with them the square bracket. Okay, so we write inside the square bracket the 7 fundamental quantity. Length has dimension L. Mass has dimension m, time t, electric current A, thermodynamic temperature K, luminous intensity CD, amount of substance mole. So these are the 7 fundamental quantities. Let us take the example. Force we know it is as a mass and acceleration. So mass, acceleration is meter per second square. Okay, this is the unit of acceleration. Meter is the physical quantity for meter is length, and second is time. So mass into length into time square. So for mass the dimension is capital M. So square bracket M, square bracket length is L. So L divided by time is T. So T square. Now this T square is in the denominator. If you take in the numerator, it becomes minus 2. So M L T minus 2. This is the dimension of force. Now next one is volume. Volume we know it is L into B into H. Okay. Now all these three are unit of length. So this can be written as L, B can be written as L, and H can be written as L, because all are unit of length. And this can be written as L power 3. This can be written as M naught L3 T naught. This is called dimension formula. Dimension formula and dimensional equation. Dimensional formula, the way to express a derived physical quantity as the power of base physical quantities is called dimensional formula. Okay, this is what. Okay, this here I am getting only L. The physical quantity is L here, but there is M and T not there. So we can write this as M naught L power 3 T power naught. So this is called your dimension formula. Dimensional equations. An equation obtained by equating a physical quantity with its dimensional formula is called the dimensional equation of the physical quantity. So physical quantity, you equate it with the dimensional formula, then you call that as an equation. Let us take example. Mass density rho. Rho is equal to m by volume. So m is as it is, volume is centimeter cube or meter cube, whatever you take. So m is a mass. Mass is the dimension of mass is m. Okay, I have given you before. So it is m, square bracket n. M and centimeter is a length, and for length dimension is L. So you write is L cube. L cube you take in the numerator, you get is L power minus 3. M is as it is. There is no time, so I write T0. So now this is your formula. And if you are equating with the physical quantity, that is rho, mass density, then this is called your dimensional equation. Velocity. Velocity is, before I wrote here, it is L1 T minus 1, and mass is not there, so mass is 0. So we can write it as a velocity m naught L T minus 1. So this is equation, and if you consider only this, it is a formula. Dimensional analysis and its applications. Only those physical quantities can be added or subtracted which have the same dimension. So if they have different dimension, you cannot add or subtract. They should have same dimension for addition and subtraction. We can cancel identical units in the numerator and denominator. If you are multiplying or dividing, if there is identical means same unit, then you can cancel them. Dimensional analysis helps us in deducing certain relations among different physical quantities and checking the derivation, accuracy and dimensional consistency or homogeneity of various mathematical expressions. So these are the application of dimensional analysis. What do you mean by homogeneity of dimensions? Okay, so I have defined here. We can add or subtract similar physical quantities. This principle is called the principle of homogeneity of dimensions. Okay, the similar quantities, physical quantities can be added or subtracted. That is called your homogeneity of dimensions. For example, V means velocity can't be added to force because both have different dimensions. Electric current cannot be subtracted from the thermodynamic temperature because they have different dimensions. So this is homogeneity of dimensions. We have the first application, checking the dimensional consistency of equations. A pure number ratio of similar physical quantities has no dimensions. So a pure number, that is a constant, and ratio of similar physical quantities are dimensionless. For example, angle has a ratio of length by length. So same unit, so it will be having no dimension. Refractive index. Refractive index means speed of light in a vacuum divided by speed of light in a medium. So both have speed of light, so they are same unit, so they are also dimensionless. Now we check the first application, that is test the dimensional consistency, whether it is dimensionally true or false. Okay, we shall do this with an example. We know the formula, x is equal to x naught plus v naught t plus half at square. This is distance, this is velocity, time, acceleration and time. Okay, so we shall check that each of these are same dimensions. Dimensions of each term. So I start with x. So x is a length, so it is L. X naught is also length, so it is L. Then v naught t, so v is a velocity. Okay, velocity we did before, L1 t minus 1. Okay, so you write here L t minus 1 and t is a time, so it is t. Now t, write together L t minus 1, this is t plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 cancels, so remains only L. Then the last term is half at square. Constant we do not take, okay, because pure number is dimensionless. We start with at square. A is acceleration, okay, and acceleration is given as Lt minus 2, okay, Lt minus 2. This one, okay, I have done here this acceleration, that is this part, second part, Lt, L by t square, that can be written as Lt minus 2. So here it will come Lt minus 2 and t is a time, so t square, but it is a square, so t square. Combine together Lt minus 2, t2, and this gives you t minus 2 plus 2 cancel, remains L. So each term have got the same dimension. First this left hand side is L, then right hand side first one is L, second one also is L, third one also is L. As each has same dimension as length, therefore the equation is dimensionally correct equation. Okay, so that this way we can check the consistency or the correctness of the equation. If an equation fails this consistency test, it is proved wrong, but if it passes, it is not proved right. So if this is wrong, okay, if the consistency test comes to be wrong, that means it is dimensionally not correct. Okay, the equation is dimensionally wrong. But if it passes, that means if it is true, okay, if it is passes, it is not proved right. That means equation can be wrong also. Therefore, a dimensionally correct equation need not be actually an correct equation, but dimensionally wrong or inconsistent equation must be wrong. Okay, let me read once again for you. A dimensionally correct equation need not be actually an correct equation. So if dimensionally it is correct, then it is not necessary that actually it is correct equation. But dimensionally wrong or inconsistent, equation must be wrong. But if it's dimensionally wrong, then surely it is wrong. But dimensionally correct need not be actually correct. It can be correct equation or wrong equation mathematically. Okay, so this is the first application. Okay, let us try to study example number 2.15. Let us consider an equation 1 by 2 mv square equal to mgh, where m is the mass of the body, v is velocity, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height. Check whether this equation is dimensionally correct. Okay, so let us check it. So we shall check the left hand side equal to right hand side. Okay, this is actually kinetic energy and this is potential energy. So now dimension of left hand side, that is this side. So half is a constant. As I said, the pure number is a dimensionless, so we will not consider that. We will start with m. M is a mass, that is m. Okay, then v is a velocity. Okay, here we have done velocity, L t minus 1. So it is L t minus 1, but it is a square. So this gives you m L square t power minus 1 into 2 is t power minus 2. Okay, so this is for left hand side here. Now let us check for mg at the right hand side. So m is a mass, so m. G is acceleration due to gravity, so it is acceleration, so it is Lt minus 2. Okay, what I used here, Lt minus 2. So Lt minus 2, and h is a height, that is a length, so it is L. So combine together m, L 1 and 1 2 and t power minus 2. So you look at this ml2 t minus 2. This is right hand side, and left hand side is ml2 t minus 2. So both are equal. Dimensions of LH left hand side equal to right hand side. Therefore equation is dimensionally correct. Okay, let us see example 2.16. The SI unit of energy is joule equal to kg meter square per second square. That is, per second square means into second minus 2 power. That of speed v is m per second, and of acceleration a is meter per second square. Which of the formula for kinetic energy k given below can you rule out one of the basis of dimensional arguments? M stands for the mass of the body. I have written all this, so I will not read directly, I will write the equations. Here first I have written SI is equal to, SI unit of energy joule equal to, this is given in the equation, kg meter square per second power per second square. Okay, it can be written into second power minus 2. So kg means mass, so m the dimension. Mass meter square means length, so L power 2. And second means time, so t power minus 2. Okay, so this is my energy dimension. Okay, now kinetic energy. So this energy should have this. So all among all these which has got this dimension will be correct, or else will be all other will be wrong. So k, that is kinetic energy, equal to m square v power 3. So m is a mass, so it is m square. V is a velocity, I have written here, so I directly write L t minus 1 power 3. So m power 2, L power 3 and t power minus 3. Now this one is m square L power 3 t power minus 3 is not the same, right? It is different than the joule, the energy. So this is not correct. K is equal to half mv square. So here we'll start with m is a mass, v is a velocity, that is Lt minus 1 whole square. This can be written as m L square t power minus 2. So these and these are correct. So this is number B is the correct or dimensionally equal. Then C equal to K M A. This is a force, actually force, so it is not for energy. So M can be written as M, A is acceleration, it is L T minus 2, which gives you M L T minus 2. It is not same as this one, right? This is not same, so this is not dimensionally correct. But this one is correct, okay, not this one. K is equal to 3 by 16 mv square. Again, this is a constant, so we'll start with M. M is a mass, V is a velocity, Lt minus 1 square. So what you get is M L square t minus 2. Okay, minus 1 into 2 is minus 2. So these and these are same. That means this also is dimensionally correct. But this is not correct answer. Okay, this equation is wrong because kinetic energy is actually half mv square and here 3 by 16 mv square. So you can see that the statement which I have mentioned here. Okay, dimensionally it is correct. Okay, but equation, this mathematical equation is not true. Okay, this is not true. This is correct but not true. So that was this. Okay, this was the statement here. It is proved. And K is equal to half mv square plus ma. Now here adding the quantities, which is not possible here because they are both different quantities. So it is but still I have written here mv square is ml2 t minus 2 and ma is this I have what written here written. Okay, so this we can't add up, so we can say that this is totally wrong. Okay, so among these which are the correct answers are, first one is the wrong, right? Second one is correct. Third one is also wrong. Fourth one is actually correct. Okay, dimensionally correct, but it is not the correct formula. Okay, the formula should be half, not 3 by 16. So dimensionally correct, but this is not the correct equation, and this is also wrong. So we can say this is also not correct. Okay, dimensionally and mathematically right formula is only number B. K is equal to half mv square. So that is totally correct. Dimensionally correct this one, but not correct by the mathematical form. Okay, this is not the right form of the kinetic energy. The second application is deducing relation among physical quantities. For this, we should know the dependence of the physical quantity on other quantities and consider it as a product type of the dependence. So for this, what we require is the dependency of a physical quantity with other quantity, and we take that as a product. Okay, we shall study this with an example, that is example 2.17. The dependence of time period. Let me read the question first. Example 2.17. Consider a simple pendulum having a bob attached to a string that oscillates under the action of the force of gravity. Suppose that the period of oscillation of the simple pendulum depends on its length L, mass of the bob m, and acceleration due to gravity g. Derive the expression for this time period using method of dimensions. Okay, so let us derive this. So I have written here the dependence of time period t on the quantities length L, acceleration due to gravity g, mass of a bob m as a product t equal to k, L, G, M, and we will take the power of this. So L power x, G power y, M power z. Because we have to take product type, but we have to take the exponent of that. So we take L power x, G power y, M power z, where k is a dimensionless constant and x, y, z are the exponents, the power. Considering dimensions on both sides. So here is only time. So L is 0, M is 0, T is 1. Okay. Here k is a constant, we should not take, we will not take it for because it is dimensionless, and L is a length, so L power x. G is acceleration, and acceleration is L into T power minus 2. Okay, we have used before. Here see, acceleration is equal to L into T power minus 2. So it is L T power minus 2 and whole power y, so y, and M is a mass, so M power z. So here you can write L power x, and this I am giving here L power y and T power minus 2y and M power z. Then this can be combined together, L and L. So you can write L power x plus y, T power minus 2y, M power z. Just I am rearranging these according to the left hand side. So here I am writing L power x plus y, then M power z and T power minus 2y. And here L power 0, M power 0, T power 1. Equating dimensions on both sides. Dimensions means the power. Okay, so we equate both the sides. So x plus y equal to here 0. For L it is x plus y, here 0. So x plus y equal to 0. For M it is z, and here I am equal to 0. So z equal to 0. Here T's power is minus 2y, and here T power is 1. So minus 2y is equal to 1. So z is 0. So that is z value is 0. From here minus you transfer here, so minus here. And if you transfer 2, it will go in the denominator. So y is equal to minus 1 by 2. And you put here y value as minus 1 by 2, so you get x minus 1 by 2 equal to 0. Minus 1 by 2 transfer here becomes plus, so x equal to 1 by 2. Okay, now take your t equal to, okay, t you have taken this k, L power x, G power y, M power z. So I am taking here t is equal to L power x, G power y, M power z. We put the value of x, y, z, what we found here. So x value is half, L 1 by 2, G y power is minus 1 by 2, and M z power is 0. Z value is 0. So z value is 0, M power 0 is 1, and G power minus we can write in the denominator, make it positive. So k into L power 1 by 2 divided by G power 1 by 2. These both are square root, right? Half power. So we can write t equal to k square root of L by G. Now for simple pendulum, value of k is 2 pi. Okay, so we write 2 pi square root of L by G. So this is the formula. If you don't know value of k, you can just keep a k as it is. the value of constant can't be obtained by method of dimensions. Okay, so by this method we cannot find the value of the constant, that k. Okay, I have just written because we know that. So we cannot find the value of k by the method of dimensions. Okay, now we have got 2-3 points in this, and they have end the chapter with that. Dimensionless constant cannot be obtained by this method. Okay, we saw here that k value we cannot find here, right? The constant we cannot find. So dimensionless constant cannot be found. This method cannot test the exact relationship between physical quantities in any equations. It does not distinguish between the physical quantities having same dimensions. Okay, so these are the, you can say, like a drawback, and with this they are ending the chapters. Okay, we also end this chapter with this, but I would like to do 2 more examples from the textbook. Example 2.3. The moon is observed from two diametrically opposite points A and B on Earth. The angle theta subtended at the moon by the two directions of observation is 1 degree 54 minute. Given the diameter of the Earth to be about 1.276 into 10 power 7 meter. Calculate the distance of the moon from the Earth. Okay, so this is the question. We shall solve this. So I have written here theta is given to you 1 degree 54 minute. Okay, so we have to convert this into radian. The angle has to be in the radian. So this is in degree given, so we convert into radian. So 1 degree 54 minute. First I will convert into degree. So to convert into degree, 54 minute divided by 60. So it is like 1.54 by 60. So you know how to find this as a rational number. So 60 into 160, 60 plus 54 gives you 114 by 60. Now to convert into radian, you have to multiply by pi by 180. Okay, this we will learn in mathematics. So just remember that to convert into radian, multiply by pi by 180. Pi value is 22 by 7, or you can take 3.14. And the distance between the 2 points on the Earth, okay, it's given to you 1.276 into 10 power 7 meter. Earth moon distance, that is what you have to find, and this formula is from the parallax method of finding the distance of the planet from the Earth, or from star from the Earth. Okay, so d is equal to b by theta. So b is this value 1.276 into 10 to the power 7, and theta is this value 100. Oh, this is not 4, it should be 114. It's 1. Okay, it's a mistake only I have written. So 114 by 60, 22 by 7, 1 by 180. Okay, so simplify it. 60 can go up, 7 can go up, 180 can go up. So it remains here 1.276 into 10 to the power 7 into 60 into 7 into 180, and denominator 114 into 22 into 1. Okay, simplify. What you get is this, multiply, you get this much. When you multiply this much, okay, simplify together, you get 3.85 into 10 to the power 8 meter. Okay, so this is the distance of the Earth, between the Earth and the moon. Example 2.4. The sun's angular diameter is measured to be 1920 seconds. The distance d of the sun from the Earth is 1.496 into 10 power 11 meter. What is the diameter of the sun? That is angular diameter. Okay? Angular diameter we have to find. Sun's angular diameter that we have to find, and alpha is given to you. Angular diameter alpha is equal to the angle is given. Okay, it is, and you have to find the diameter only, not angular diameter. It is given to us angular diameter, that is angle alpha equal to 1920 second. So second is there, so you have to convert into first minute, so divide by 60, and then convert into degree by dividing by once again 60, and convert into radian by multiplying by pi by 180, as before I told you. Distance of sun from the Earth d is given to us 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meter. Okay, see, I made mistake. This they have asked us the diameter is asked. Okay, they have asked the diameter of the sun, and sun's angular diameter is given, that is your alpha is given. Okay, angular diameter is alpha given to us. So d is equal to alpha into d. Okay, sun's diameter, alpha value, put the value, this one. Okay, all that I have put, and put value of d, which is given here. Simplify, you will get the value as 1.39 to 10 power 9 meter. Okay, I think you can calculate yourself for this. And here we end chapter 2. Next we shall do chapter 3. Thank you very much.